A resilient life. The mindset of a day trader. You forgot me, didn't you? Aaron grinned. Not exactly. Come on, confess. Who'd you go out with? No one, Katy laughed. I was out on the beach watching the sunset. The sunset? You've never watched a sunset in your life, Aaron exclaimed. Oh well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there? Besides, that's not true. The two friends went up to Katy's rooms, and Aaron told her all about the trip and elaborated at length on all the trouble it had taken to get Katy's special knives through security. But how's it going with you anyways? Aaron asked, once she'd finished her story. How's the day trading coming along? Not so great, Katy said. I think I'll give it up. Are you serious? You've barely started. I just keep making bad trades and it's hard, Katy explained. That sounds like an excuse. I guess you don't like it, Aaron concluded. It's not an excuse, Katy retorted indignantly. I do kind of like it. I mean, it's not something I'd want to do my whole life, but a few years would be great if I could figure out how to do it. But I thought you were doing great, Aaron said, confused. Didn't you make $8,000 your first month? Yes, but I made 19 losing trades, Katy said despondently. Aaron laughed. I'd take 19 losing trades if they came with $8,000. But I failed 19 times, Katy repeated. I thought I might get better at it. I figured there was just some bit of strategy that still needed to be worked out. But I've done just as bad this month, even though I made a habit of stopping after every bad trade and reevaluating. Aaron looked amused. You don't mean to say that you think it's possible to reach the point where you don't ever lose money on a trade? Of course that's the goal, Katy said. I need to eliminate failure. Aaron grinned in disbelief. I'll admit I know nothing about day trading, but it seems to me that in most business endeavors, if after you've totaled up your losses and gains, there are more than enough gains to cover your losses, you're a success, not a failure. But look here, Aaron said with energy. You clearly have some knack for this. If you'll just get this idea out of your head that every loss is a failure and every failure is a disaster. You did great in your first month, and if you did badly in your second, that was just because you took the day off every time you made one mistake. In fact, it's not even fair to call them mistakes, really, as long as they were following your strategy. It might be nice to have a 100% winning strategy, but don't throw out a 75% one just because. You might have a point, Katy said, considering. Of course I have a point, Aaron exclaimed. I know you've never failed in your life and don't know what to do with it, but for most people, it's an ordinary experience that you just have to get over. You can't keep up this nonsense of re-strategizing every time one trade turns out badly. You've got to look at losses as setbacks, not roadblocks. You mean you think I should keep day trading? Katy asked, a little taken aback. That's exactly what I mean. Don't quit just because there are downs as well as ups in a day of trading. Enjoy the lows. The highs wouldn't be as interesting without them. I just hadn't thought about some losses being acceptable, Katy explained. Aaron shook her head in disbelief. You've clearly had too easy of a life, she laughed. I'm starting to think that this is the best thing that could have happened to you. You'd never make it anywhere as an entrepreneur if every loss made you sit back and reevaluate the past. Of course you've got to learn from mistakes, but you also have to move forward. And most of all, you have to stop thinking of every failure as a door slamming in your face. If you don't succeed right away, that doesn't mean you're completely wrong, just that you need to try harder. With that encouragement, Katy went back to day trading. She was surprised to find at the end of the next month that she had actually done well by relentlessly following her strategy and forcing herself to trade on, even after a loss. It was still emotionally difficult for her to wrap her head around the fact that taking an occasional loss was just part of any good day trading strategy. But like Aaron told her, the only way to keep going was to keep going. So Katy kept on going, though sometimes an unexpected or unusually large loss made her heart sink. But the bottom line kept justifying her decisions. Her dad was suitably impressed. "I didn't really think people could make money day trading." "You mean you didn't think I could do it?" Katy laughed. "Well, if I'm being honest, I thought you wouldn't be able to handle the losses," he said. And Katy was shocked to think how nearly right he had been. Katy Ansley spent 6 years as a day trader, and in later life she said those were the 6 years of her life when she learned the most. She learned to work through difficulties, to bounce back from failure, to distinguish warning signs from speed bumps, and to be resilient. At the end of the day, she explained, while I was trading, it was just about money. But in life, there are times when it's critical to be able to move past difficulties and construct something positive. And that's what day trading taught me to do.